Now, Nikki Haley is actually one of the most preposterous people in American politics who has run for a long time. And few things illustrated that more than what it is that she said when she spoke last night after getting crushed again. You would have thought, based on her demeanor and the kind of energy of what her event was, that she actually won. She was doing that whole bit about how the establishment told us we couldn't possibly win, and yet here we are, except she didn't win. And the establishment didn't tell her she could win. They did everything possible to be on her side. So, look, all politicians spin, they all manipulate facts for their own benefit, but Nikki Haley's lies last night were so flagrant that I just want to spend a couple of minutes on the two most glaring ones, not just because they show what a pathological and sociopathic liar Nikki Haley is. I think we've spent a lot of time on this show demonstrating that, but because the lies she told go right to the core of the key political narrative that I think is emerging in the United States in a way that is historic in nature. So, first of all, here is the first fairy tale that she spun after losing New Hampshire.
And the question is, who's going to fix it? With Donald Trump, Republicans have lost almost every competitive election. We lost the Senate. We lost the House. We lost the White House. We lost in 2018. We lost in 2020. And we lost in 2022. The worst kept secret in politics is how badly the Democrats want to run against Donald Trump.
Okay, so according to Nikki Haley, the Democrats are doing everything possible to ensure that Donald Trump is the nominee because they know, according to her, that he's the only person they can beat. The problem with that claim is twofold. One is that polls show that Trump is actually the only Republican candidate running ahead of Joe Biden while Nikki Haley is running behind him. But the much bigger problem is that Democrats are genuinely and earnestly doing everything to keep Nikki Haley's candidacy afloat, to try and make her win. We've gone over this, that her money is coming from Democratic big donors and oligarchs, that Democratic pundits on MSNBC and CNN are urging Democratic voters to vote for Nikki Haley by arguing not that she's the weakest candidate, but that she's the best candidate. That if you had a Biden-Haley race, at least America would be back into the light and away from the darkness. Democrats love Nikki Haley because she is the closest to them in their political ideology. So to have a candidacy driven almost entirely by Democratic donors and Democratic operatives and Democratic pundits and Democratic money, and in last night's vote, Democratic votes, and then to get up on a stage and say the Democrats are doing everything in their power to ensure I'm not the nominee and Nikki and Donald Trump is a lie so glaring and so obvious that it kind of stands on a category of its own, even considering that politicians typically manipulate and deceive. Here's the rest of this.
They know Trump is the only Republican in the country who Joe Biden can defeat. You can't fix.
All right, so everything about that is false, as we just said. Now, here's the other claim Nikki Haley tried to make. She's trying to claim that she's the one standing up to the political establishment. She's the anti-establishment candidate in the race. The establishment is trying to push Nikki Haley out of the race, she says, but the voters are saying no to the establishment. Here she tweeted last night after the results came in, quote, "I've got bad news for the political establishment. I'm not going anywhere except to my sweet South Carolina. We're not going to let them coronate Donald Trump when 48 states haven't voted." The political establishment is behind Nikki Haley in a way that I've never seen them back a Republican politician in my life. And it's not voters telling the political establishment we're going to defy you by voting for Nikki Haley. It's the political establishment, it's the voters telling the political establishment, we're going to defy you by voting for Donald Trump. Here is an interview that Nikki Haley gave on Fox where she again postured as the anti-establishment candidate.
Martha, I'm running to win this race. And as much as everybody wants to talk about what I'm going to do, at some point, y'all are going to realize that I won this race, and you're going to have to accept when I say I told you so. It is slow and slow. He wins the race. I've done this the entire time. We're going to finish it. I don't want anything else. I don't want anything else. I'm running to be president. I'm not going to pull out because somebody wants to be coronated. I'm not going to pull out because they think that I shouldn't be there. The political class has never thought I should be here. In South Carolina, in Congress, at the UN, no one has ever thought I should be here. And that's exactly why I should be here, because I'm fighting for normal people, and I'll always do that.
Martha, the political class has never wanted Nikki Haley in the race, she says. How do you, even in the context of a campaign, get yourself to lie like that with a straight face? Here's the Wall Street Journal, the voice of the establishment, the editorial board, on January 24th, yesterday, urging Nikki Haley to stay in the race. Quote, Nikki Haley earns the chance to fight on after New Hampshire. She closed strong in the primary and revealed Trump's November weakness. If she can remain competitive, there's an argument for Ms. Haley to stay in the race through the July convention. And that's a whole argument why Nikki Haley should stay in this race. Now, it is, I think, amazing. And what's the important part here is not that Nikki Haley is lying. The important part is that the establishment has really lost its ability to influence the American population any longer. I watched a video last night just through sheer schadenfreude where Bill Kristol, who is Nikki Haley's most ardent supporter, was speaking to Tim Miller, a lifelong Republican operative who, in the wake of Trump, became a Democrat like Bill Kristol, and they were really hoping and believing Nikki Haley would win New Hampshire. And as the results came in and they realized she was going to lose by double digits, they just were so depressed. It was one of those videos that started off hopeful and then ended up with them almost slitting their throats on video. And one of the things they were basically saying was, I just don't understand how it can possibly be that after everything Donald Trump has done, after everything Donald Trump has said, after every law that Donald Trump has broken, he continues to win by such large margins. And that is really true. They cannot understand the world any longer. They look at the world and it makes no sense to them. Because all of these people are so detached from the people who they think they speak for or who they think they can analyze. And it is finally, I think, sinking in that their control is gone. And that is why the only hope they continue to have is that they can imprison Donald Trump. That really is the Democrats' only hope. And both of them, Bill Kristol and Tim Miller, both said the one thing polls give hope is that if Donald Trump is convicted and if he spends time in prison, that's the one thing that can persuade some Republicans to abandon him. That really is their only strategy left for stopping Donald Trump, to imprison him at the same time they posture as the saviors of American democracy. Thanks for watching this clip from System Update, our live show that airs every Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern, exclusively on Rumble. You can catch the full nightly shows live or view the backlog of episodes for free on our Rumble page. You can also find full episodes the morning after they air across all major podcasting platforms, including Spotify and Apple. All the information you need is linked below. We hope to see you there.